Hey guys, welcome back to Love Truck Garage. Well, today we're going to play around with this blue truck and give it a little bit of a makeover. Now, I've never been a real fan of the two headlight setup and have always preferred four headlights on my trucks. Losing that front bumper and putting on that early style valance, to me that's the best look. Stay till the end and leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. A couple videos ago I welded up this old Valance and was planning on putting it on the blue truck. When I picked out this paint I thought it was a pretty close match and I was trying to do a little patina paint job. I wound up with too much paint and not enough patina. I did minimal prep work, so I'm hoping that a little sandpaper will get some of that patina back. Well, that's how it turned out, a little bit too nice, but we'll get to that sooner or later. I should probably just paint the whole truck with a rattle can now. It really doesn't look too bad. It's probably going to be the most rust-free part on the whole truck. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I decided to soak all these rusty bolts down with PB Blaster. Everything is pretty rusty, so I'll need all the help I can get. Let's get those bumper bolts juiced up too. This is the torsion bar adjustment, and you can change the ride height of your Luv by adjusting this bolt in or out. This bolt is cranked in pretty far, which would raise the front end of the truck. There's almost 3 inches of threads sticking out of the adjuster. Loosening this bolt will lower the truck, tightening it will lift it. The threads are pretty fine on this bolt and you want to make sure they're pretty clean before you start cranking on anything. I soaked both sides down with some PB Blaster and we'll come back to this later. The threads looked really good, so I think this is going to go easy. Well, I'm going to steal the headlights and grill off the 4x4, and I hope I can find another set of these. Well, there's the before shot. Let's get into this. Everything's breaking loose pretty easy. That PB Blaster really did its job. You can really see how crusty this truck is. The old headlight buckets had 3 mounting points, and the 4 headlight setup has 4 mounting points. That's not a problem though, because every year Luv I've had has had both sets of holes. The core supports come pre-drilled from the factory, so either style headlights are a straight bolt in, no worries. However, when you switch to the 4 headlight setup, you will have to wire in that extra headlight. Just a connector and a wire to the high beam on the outside light. Now let's unbolt that new style valance and let's start tackling that front bumper. I would say those bumper bolts had never been off before. Two of the bolts on the passenger side snapped off completely. And on the last bolt, the welded nut on the inside of the frame came loose, so the bolt was just spinning. So I got out the angle grinder and just diced up the bolt head into little pieces until it snapped off. That went easier than I thought it was going to, and I'm glad that's done. Alright, last 2 bolts on that new style valance. Now you can see how far off that color is on the valance. Once again, no drilling required. All the holes are there to bolt an old style valance onto a newer model truck. That went pretty easy. Now let's throw these headlights on. Once again, all the holes are there for the buckets. You're just going to need a couple extra screws. And as far as the smaller grille goes, it mounts exactly the same. It's really a pretty easy swap. Now let's put them bezels on and finish this up. Well, what do you think? Still gotta drop those torsion bars, but man, I think that looks so much better. And this was the original setup that came on the 4-wheel drive, and it's okay. I'd like to find another set of quads though. Now let's crank on those torsion bar bolts and get this thing lowered. Normally with the truck up on jack stands, I would turn these torsion bar bolts 10 turns on each side and then lower it down and see what I had. You would definitely want to do it evenly. But since I'm just trying to drop the truck and it's not going anywhere, I'm just going to use the impact wrench. I left about a ½ inch of threads on each side sticking out of the adjuster. That's down from about 3 inches when I started, and I still have a little bit more to go, so it's not as low as it can go. And the passenger side turned a lot easier than the driver's side did. Alright, let's drop it. Well, there it is. I think that's about a 3-inch drop over what it was. I do plan on getting some lowering blocks for the back, but I think it looks pretty good. That's a good day's work. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, does this look better? Here's a shot before we cranked on them torsion bars. And here's the after shot. I've got more plans for this little truck, so stay tuned. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I do appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.